Chair Han is on.
Excuse me, folks. If I can have your attention, we'll get started here in a second. Is our court reporter ready?
I'm ready.
All right, thank you. All right, then, let's go on the record. Today is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. The time is 6:55 p.m. My name is Ken Spire. I am a regulatory law judge with the Missouri Public Service Commission, and I will preside over this portion of the hearing. The Commission has set this time for a local public hearing here in Kansas City to give members of the public a chance to comment about Spire's application to adjust its natural gas rates, and it is Commission File Number GR-2025-0107. The Commission regulates the rates charged by public utility companies in Missouri to ensure that those rates are just and reasonable. The Commission also regulates the quality of service and the safety of the operations of public utilities. The Commission is normally comprised of 5 commissioners. However, there is currently a vacancy on the Commission, so there are currently 4 commissioners. The commissioners are appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. The Commission employs a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. With me tonight is Commissioner Glenn Kolkmeyer and Commissioner John Mitchell. Also participating online is the chair of the Commission, Kayla Hahn, as well as Commissioner Maida Coleman. The commissioners have not made any decisions in this case and cannot answer any questions today because they have to remain impartial until all the evidence is presented at the evidentiary hearing in this matter that is scheduled to take place beginning August 4th. At this time, Commissioner Kolkmeyer, would you like to make opening remarks?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Well, welcome. On behalf of Chair Hahn and the other commissioners, I want to welcome you here tonight to the local public hearing. As the judge said, we have not made any decisions on this case at all. This is kind of the start of the process, and we're starting it with you, the ratepayers and the customers. So that's why we're here tonight, to hear your comments. Your comments are very important to us when we make our decisions. So again, thank you, and I hear we have a hard 9 o'clock deadline. We have to be out of here, and I apologize for that. So we're going to speed things up just a little bit than we normally do, but it's not under our control, but it has to do with this facility that we have to vacate. So thanks again.
All right, thank you. There are attorneys here tonight representing the parties in this matter, so for the sake of the record, would each of you identify yourselves and state which party you're representing, beginning with Spire?
Yes, good evening. Antonio Arias on behalf of Spire, Missouri, Inc.
Okay. On behalf of the commission staff?
Hi, Andrea Hansen representing the Missouri Public Service Commission. That's ANDREAHANSEN.
And on behalf of the Office of the Public Counsel?
John Kleiser on behalf of the Office of Public Counsel. Thank you.
Okay. The way we'll proceed tonight will be to call the names listed on the sign-up sheet in the order that you signed up. When I call your name, please step up to the podium. I'll place you under oath, ask you to state and spell your name, and then you can offer your comments to the commission. I know we have quite a few people signed up tonight, so we will limit the comment period to 3 minutes per person. Once you finish your comments, if you'll remain at the podium, that'll give me an opportunity to check with the commissioners to see if they have any questions for you. So, with that, the first name on the commission is Reverend Kenneth, is it Peggy? Peggy. All right.
I was waiting to see if he was going to try.
I you can't blame me. I did take a stab at it.
No offense.
Reverend, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And if you would, state and spell your name.
Kenneth, Kenneth, Pegue.
Go ahead, Reverend.
I represent the AME Zion Church for Kansas City, Missouri, the Missouri Annual Conference. And the increase that Spire is asking for will greatly affect and hamper not only my church, but the 6 other churches that I represent here tonight. With all the job loss here in Kansas City, Missouri, Jackson County, where I live also, the Veterans Hospital, IRS, the VA, Veterans Benefits, veterans, there's been a great job loss, and for those families to be reeling from this down spiral and then have to not be able to take care of their bill from last winter and then got to look toward the coming winter with more tacked onto it is a little bit egregious. A little bit egregious. I said it was 15% increase, 14.23. And I wrote on my notes, my statement was simply, in all caps, GREED. I just can't fathom a company whose CEO, president, living so good in a time like this when people are suffering, $3.4 million, and then ask for more from the one who giving him that fee. That is beyond egregious. It really is. That's my statement.
All right. And just for the sake of the court reporter, you are with AME Zion,
African Methodist
Z-I-O-N?
Episcopal Zion Church.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are there any questions from the commissioners? All right. Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Next on the list is James Waldo. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So help me God.
All right. Thank you. And could you go ahead and state and spell your name?
James Waldo, Jameswaldo.
Go ahead.
I am a disabled senior citizen on one single source of income. I don't have a 401k or a bankroll that I can fall back on. I have a single source of income. I live on it, but I live tight. I live in Ruskin Heights. There are 1,379 homes in Ruskin Heights. Of my neighbors, I'm probably the wealthiest person in my neighborhood. And when the kids line up for the school bus, they come by my house to get snacks. When my neighbors need their grass mowed to keep from getting evicted, they come and borrow my mower. And I'm not saying all that stuff to sound like I'm some kind of almighty neighbor. I'm saying it to let you know that there ain't nobody in my neighborhood that can afford this rate increase, including myself. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you. Are there any questions from the commissioners? All right. Thank you, Mr. Waldo. Next name on the list is Clara Hall. Yes. Could you would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead and state and spell your name, please.
Good evening. My name is Carla Hall, C-A-R-L-A-H-A-L-L. And I am a life...
And I'm sorry. I think I called you Clara,
You called me
but
Clara.
it's Carla.
Yes, it's Carla, C-A-R-L-A.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm a longtime customer of Spire, only because Spire is the only game in town, because it's a monopoly and I don't have any other choice. I came directly from work to speak today because the increase that's being proposed will impact me in a negative way, making an already super tight budget even tighter. I'm also here on behalf of my elderly parents who are on Social Security. I'm positive that I know no one who has received a 15% raise this year. I'm also concerned about others in the community that will have to make some tough choices if this is pushed through. A rate hike of this magnitude would have a ripple effect, potentially forcing people to cut back on essentials like food, reducing heating during the coldest months, and often sacrificing paying other bills. If I'm having to adjust my budget, it means spending less in my community, which will negatively impact small businesses in my neighborhood. I wonder if we couldn't do a more incremental approach or a tiered system that would take into account household income so that people who are already struggling would not fall further behind. Or perhaps the CEO and the shareholders of Spire would consider taking a cut in their profits instead, since I see that Spire made $250 million in profit in 2024 and the CEO made $3 million in profit. I hope that the Missouri Public Service Commission will tell Spire no to the increase. Thank you for your consideration.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hall. Are there any questions from the commissioners? All right, thank you, Ms. Hall. Folks, I don't want to discourage your enthusiasm, but two things. I've got a court reporter who is trying to take down testimony, and when you applaud during that testimony, that makes that hard for the court reporter. And like I said, we are on kind of a time crunch here. We've got 49 people signed up to testify, and we do have to be out of here by 9 o'clock. So with all that being said, the next name on the list is Jimmy Cortese. All right. Would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you.
Right.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. If you would, state and spell your name.
Jimmy Cortice. It's Jimmy. Last name is Courtice. So I'm here. I'm a Spire customer. I've lived in Kansas City for like 15 years. I'm here to urge the commission to reject Spire's proposed rate hike. Spire's already raised rates on the backs of Missouri families 3 times in as many years. Now you're back asking for more money. You made $251 million in profits in 2024. That's up from $217 million the year before. You are not struggling. You guys are killing it. I know that everybody in this country just lived through a period of some of the worst inflation in decades. Prices went up by 10, 15% across the board. We are all suffering, right? We're getting hammered with rising costs. People are struggling, and we shouldn't be asked to pad the profits of a company that's arguably you guys are doing just fine. Especially for an essential service that, like a lot of people have pointed out, we can't do without. We can't go anyplace else. We have to pay for gas. We can't cook our food. We can't heat our homes. We can't wash our bodies, right? We have no other alternative. The increases, it's mind-boggling. Because the increases that you are asking for, they're not about survival. Spire's not suffering. You guys aren't going to go out of business or anything, right? You're asking us to maximize the returns for your investors and shareholders. And for what? Like, what else do we get? We just get the opportunity to pay more money. Thanks so much. You know, it's really infuriating. So I just ask, we need this commission to put people before Spire's profits. Please reject this proposal.
All right. Are there any questions for Mr. Cordes? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the list, Kashmir Ketterman. All right, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Could you go ahead and state and spell your name?
Yes, my name is Kashmir, Kashmere. My last name is Ketterman, Ketterman.
All right.
Yeah, hello, my name is Kashmir. I use he, him pronouns. I'm 23 years old, and I'm a working class organizer with Sunrise Movement Kansas City. I am here tonight to call upon the commission to tell Spire no to this proposed rate hike. We have a president currently, President Trump, who is trying to gut our Social Security, our health care, climate action, you know, things that are very important to the future of working people, especially all across this country. And he's using those cuts to fund tax breaks for his billionaire buddies. Working people cannot afford rent, groceries, and basic necessities as it is. And do you know what our communities could do with $250 million? We could fund our bus system 10 times over. We could provide affordable social green housing to every single homeless person in this city. We could literally fund the climate plan that was passed through City Council in Kansas City in 2022 that we've made zero progress on. The fact that you want to steal from us, I'm going to reiterate this. You want to steal from us to recuperate your investments that you made in your systems is sickening. You guys should feel shame. I know you guys are just representatives of the company, but you should feel shame and you should quit your jobs and you should go do something that's actually productive for our society instead of representing a corporation that exploits you three. Just to make folks aware, Spire is a monopoly that also operates in Mississippi and Alabama with a $4 billion market cap, who's bought up all the other gas companies and profits off of the back of working people and an accelerating climate crisis. Spire calls this gas quote unquote natural, but we all know the truth backed by science. It's dirty, it's harming our communities, polluting our environment, and making predominantly black and brown people sick. If we were having a discussion grounded in reality, we would be talking about how to transition away from fossil fuels and ensure a livable future for all. But instead, you got us here begging for scraps. The commission needs to do their jobs on behalf of working class people, despite not being elected or having no obligation to serve us at all whatsoever. And tell these greedy corporations like Spire, hell no to no more rate hikes. Hell no. Thank you.
All right. Are there any questions? All right. Next name on the list is Magali Rojas. Would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Yeah, you can. And if you would, state and spell your name.
My name is Magali. It's spelled Magali. My last name is Rojas, Rojas.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm a resident of Kansas City, Missouri, and I am against Spire's 15% increase. First of all, they operate as a monopoly, which means that they are the only ones who are operating a large geographic area. They aren't working for solutions that move away from fossil fuels, which affect our natural environment and indoor environment. I serve as a community advocate. I work in areas with the communities like Raytown, Clay County, and Jackson County. And I've heard many stories First of all, dealing with their houses. Many aren't equipped or weatherized to receive these increases in charges that are affecting their homes. They live amongst disparities, specifically senior citizens, people with disabilities, and people who have received very low income. I am someone who lives in a 3-generation household. If it wasn't for my family, who moved from the east side of Kansas City to Missouri and then to the northeast side and now up north, I wouldn't have witnessed all the changes from living in poverty to living in a place that's more sustainable and friendly for my health. And I've heard many stories of people with asthma, respiratory, and cardiovascular issues, mental health issues that they're facing right now because they're thinking of all the consequences that will come and arise from this. And that also has to do with our environment. Fossil fuels are affecting our rivers, they're affecting air quality, and it's an environmental injustice based on environmental racism. And so we need to find a better way. As commissioners, that's your responsibility, to listen to us, to what we have to say, and to listen to the communities. I work with many institutions. I have a 7-year background working with nonprofit organizations, and it's the same thing over and over again. It is mentally taxing for me. I've lost my job recently working in the environmental space, and there's many job losses right now. So I ask you to consider all those job losses and all the things that are rising up amongst this. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, the next name on the list is Joseph Jackson. All right, would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hahn, for being testify tonight.
And before, I got to
Go ahead.
interrupt you and ask you to state and spell your name.
Yes, Joseph, Joseph Jackson, Jackson. And I am speaking in opposition of Spire's rate request in case number GR 20250107. 43% of my natural gas bill is set before I even use 1 CCF of gas. And folks, they're talking about Spire hurting. Spire's dividends have increased for the last 3 years. They were $2.74 in 2022. 2023, they were $2.88. And 2024, they were $3.02 a share. And Spire has consistently given increasing dividends every year since the company's inception in 1946. Now I'm going to put in, I can't finish my testimony, but I have a part of my testimony there, Form 10, and pictures of any energy reservation, energy upgrades I did to my house. I've spent over $25,000 doing energy upgrades. I did such a great job that when I retired from the military, Spire said, well, what did you do? Because my rates are 40% lower than anybody else's. That was 2003. Fast forward now, I am paying $120 a month, and I started out only paying $40 a month. This community, folks, is going to be seeing some definite hard times. We are getting ready to see a school bond increase. It's going to increase our taxes, property taxes from $200 to $250 a year. The water company wants 6%. Our property taxes in this community have went up at least 50%. Now they're going to say this year they're going to roll up another 15%. I can say that mine have went up personally 50% last year. They're going to roll up another 15%. The milk is $6 a gallon, eggs are $6 a gallon, food is up. The only thing that's not up is salaries. And where does Spire expect for us to get all this money from? If everybody wants all these other increases, we're going to have to make cuts and do. And I would say this to you, that military pensions only went up 2.5%, Social Security went up 2.5%, Spire wants 15%. If they want that kind of money, we're going to have to make cuts somewhere. Where are people supposed to cut? Medications. We have to have utilities to stay in our house, because in Kansas City, if you don't have water and a way in which to heat that water, then you're going to be put out of your house. I will say this, I'm not ashamed to say it. At one point in time when my family was in my house with me, our gas got cut off because I hadn't did all the energy upgrades I needed to do. Spire was no help. But I will say this, thank God my stove was electric because my kids didn't have to take cold baths because my heat got cut off. This is going to decimate this community. It's going to impact those who are homeowners as well as renters because property taxes increases are going to be passed on. People who live in their homes or own their homes, our seniors are going to be doing things to have to decide between medications and food and staying warm. I have a programmable thermostat. I put in new windows with argon gas in the middle. Argon is a heavy gas that keeps the hot air out.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Jackson. I hate to interrupt you, but
Sure.
I do need you to wrap it up.
Sure. I am opposed to this hearing because Spire has shown me one thing in the state of Missouri. It's not the people. Thank you.
All right. All right, next name on the list is.
Your Honor,
I'm
pardon me, did you want that
It's my full testimony, pictures of the energy upgrades I have, and Spire's Form 10K where I got all the information from.
May I?
Yeah, Mr. Kleiser.
I believe there's an offer to offer this as an exhibit.
Do you need to take a look at that? No. No objection?
No objection.
All right, that was Mr. Arias. All right, Mr. Jackson, I will take that back with me, and it will be admitted as an exhibit to this hearing. The next name on the list is Kaylee Ford. All right. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony given in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. If you would, state and spell your name, please.
Absolutely. My name is Kaylee, K-A-I-L-E-E, and last name Ford, F-O-R-D. And good evening to everyone. I am a leader and organizer with Sunrise Movement Kansas City. I have lived in Kansas City my whole 23 years of life, and I am here because, funny enough, I actually work in public utilities, in customer service. So I'm glad that at least one or two people here who have maybe that experience. But for the last year in my job, I have dealt with the daily consequences of your actions with the everyday people I talk to on the phone. Mothers who have to choose between childcare or paying their utility bills. The elderly and the disabled who only get Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security checks once a month who have to cope with their bills. The poor and working class families who will be forced to keep their heat low during climate crises because it's just too expensive. And yet, Spire executives and their CEO and their representatives are bent on increasing rates continually. You said you need it, but you don't need the money, you want our money. I have stories from residents every single day, Monday through Friday, who call in for help on their bills. And you know who else they mention they have problems with without fail almost every day? Spire. Very real people told me this winter that they would rather risk, that they would rather have their heat low than pay that expensive bill. They would rather risk their homes and their families to freeze in minus 20 degrees than face the financial strain of your corporate greed. People will die because of your decisions, and that is not an understatement. They will freeze to death in the winter. People will starve to death because they have to pay $500+ for their gas. People will lose their homes due to eviction, just like Joseph said, for being unable to pay their bills and having their utilities shut off. When will the increases end? Once you've drained every cent from our pockets? Once you've destroyed our climate in the process, using the money not for improvements, but continued fossil gas development, because yes, it's fossil gas, not natural gas. There's nothing natural about it. How many more people have to freeze to death in the winter to avoid being put into death with their utilities? We demand no more rate increases, and I speak to both Spire and the Commission when I say that. Especially not during a time of economic hardship, And I hope that the next time you meet on the decision for this and you meet as well in the Public Commission, you will think of the people who are not here tonight because they are dead due to your decisions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next name on the list is Nate Morton. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And could you state and spell your name, please?
My name is Nathaniel Morton, Nathanelmorton.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Nathaniel. I'm a resident of Independence. I'm here today to express my frustration with the rate hike and how any effort to continue this process will be in complete and utter defiance of the people of Missouri. Many folks are already struggling with the ever-increasing cost of living, yet companies like Spire continue to squeeze the consumer in order to keep raking in record profits. Such measures are truly disgusting and a testament that these suits do not value us and will continue to put profit over people time and time again. With that, I ask the Commission to ensure that this rate is not to be passed. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. The next name on the list, the last name is Yarbrough. Is it Karen? Yes. Okay. Would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Could you state and spell your name, please?
Sure. I'm Karen, Karen, Yarbrough, Yarbrough. You know, it just breaks my heart to stand here. We have a room full of people, and all of us are broke. You all make probably a whole hell of a lot more than I do. And I'm retired from the military. I'm also retired from the state of Missouri, which paid horror wages. That's why I had to go back into the military at 45 years old. For you all to ask for a rate increase, that's financial rape. That's exactly what that is. And shame on you. Shame on you. Because you know we don't make a whole lot of money. You know that. You got to know that. All of us who came up here to stand up and speak, weren't you listening, or are you just sitting there not hearing us? We're begging you to lower the damn rates and not ask for increase. Now, the commission, they proposed, what, a 9.6 or 9.7 increase? Hell, that's not going to help. That's like the higher increase, at 10%, whatever the hell you asking for. Are you all trying to make us slaves? Or do you want to just stand up here and put a gun, a fire, or shoot us? What the hell do you want from us? You want blood. And you all are representing these people. What if I didn't go over to the military? What if I was in a damn war? I know y'all don't give a shit about. I'm sorry for the cursing. So I apologize, because I am a Christian. But it just breaks. I'm not trying to be funny. It breaks my heart. Do you all have a soul? I need someone to answer me. I certainly have a soul. We were all brought up in church. We all went to school. We know right from wrong. I can't afford this. These people have told you, I'm telling you, we cannot afford this. Not with every damn thing else going on, and especially not with Trump in office. He's taken away everything. I couldn't even go for mental health after he gets through with me. You just go to Fort Leavenworth and visit me in the cemetery, where a lot of my other family members are for serving for this country. Now, if you all do this rate increase, I say shame, shame, shame on you. You know better. And you can look at me with those smug faces if you want to. I am so upset with you all, I don't know what to do. What happened to morality and goodness and grace and mercy? What happened to all of that? Did they just go out the damn window? And I'm not trying to be funny, and I don't want these people laughing at me. I want you all to hear us. We're begging. What do you want us to? You want me to crawl to you? Do you want the whole room to crawl to you and beg you, please don't raise our rates? Because after you raise our rates, Trump has gotten rid of everything. And it's all in his pockets.
Excuse
And
me.
don't,
Mr. Arbor, I'm sorry, you are
I'll
up
wrap
against
it
the
up.
time limit, yes.
I will wrap it up. But please, before you go to bed tonight, think about it. Just think about this whole entire room. Think about entire Kansas City, please. I beg you.
All right, thank you. The next name on the list is Erica Flores. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And if you would, state and spell your name, please.
Sure. My name's Erica Flores, E-R-I-C-A, F as in Frank, L-O-R-E-S as in Sam. My name's Erica. I am a leader with Sunrise Movement Kansas City, and when I try to think about my future as a young person, I get really scared. I know that right now nothing's affordable, and it makes it hard to think that anything will be affordable in the future. And on top of that, the climate crisis is accelerating. This tornado that we saw yesterday touch down is the type of storm that's only going to intensify and happen more and more frequently as each year passes. And I think everyone in this room has made it clear that an extra $20, an extra $30, that's pennies for your executives. That's nothing. But for us, for me, that is everything. That is the difference between life and death. It's the difference between keeping the thermostat at 55 or 70 in the winter. It's the difference between cutting your medication in half or paying your gas bill on time. And given the fact that you've raised rates multiple times already in the past few years, why are you doing it again? What is this needed for? How can you justify millions of dollars in performance bonuses for your executives while not even being able to afford your infrastructure without making us pay it? When does it end? Like, that's what I want to know. When does it end? While you're here forcing us everyday people to pay more, your profits are skyrocketing. And you're stealing my future, you're stealing our futures, you're stealing your own children's futures. You're forcing us to be out here asking for the bare minimum, which is to not pay more in our rates, and we don't even get a chance to talk about what are we going to do about the future? When are we going to have service that doesn't kill our planet? So-called natural gas is not natural, it is a fossil fuel, and it's heating up this very planet that we live on. To this commission in front of me, it is your job to stand up for people. Spire might get away with telling us, well, we're a monopoly, we only care about profits, but you cannot. It is your job to regulate them. It is your job to not just be a rubber stamping mechanism. It is your job to think critically about what this means for me, my future, your children's futures, and everyone else on this planet. We already heard it. You're a monopoly. Spire's a monopoly. We have no choice. We have no choice but to pay these bills. And that's why it's your job to put the interests of ratepayers first. It is your job to intervene. It is your job to speak up for us and listen to us and actually put what we're telling you into action. And that's why Spire needs not one single cent more for this. They don't need a single cent. And I demand that you do so. Thank you.
The next name on the list is Anne Marie Carver. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And would you go ahead and state and spell your name?
Yep, it's Anne Marie Carver, A-N-N-M-A-R-I-E.
Maybe you can bring the
This
mic-
better?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Anne Marie Carver, A-N-N-M-A-R-I-E-C-A-R-V-E-R. Spire was granted a rate increase of 4% just 3 years ago. They state that since then, they have continued to make investments in their natural gas delivery system and technology to benefit customers. While those investments benefit customers, we know that Spire has seen record profits in recent years. One could say that Spire is more than capable of paying for these projects themselves, but what we have here is a multi-billion-dollar valued company asking their customers to continue footing the bill on their routine maintenance and projects. We are told by Spire that higher costs are necessary to improve infrastructure, but no one at Spire is calling attention to the fact that Missouri residential natural gas prices have been consistently higher than both Kansas and the national average for at least a decade, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Spire says that affordability is always top of mind and that they're thinking of their customers, that they need profits so they can get loans to build and make repairs. They say it's important Spire is healthy, and that to be healthy means that they have to earn a reasonable return that is then used to attract capital to invest in their system. Spire has pocketed record profits in recent years while funneling funds to shareholder dividends and executive pay. Their CEO, Scott Doyle, has a base salary of $800,000, and considering bonus and stock options of the prior CEO, Stephen Lindsay, in 2024, Doyle stands to make over $3 million this year. That is over 43 times higher than the median income for a household in Missouri of $68,920, which is 12% lower than our country's median household income. Spire's fiscal 2024 net income of $250.9 million, which is over $33 million higher than their prior year, with adjusted earnings in 2024 of $247.4 million, an increase of over $19 million from 2023. I think it's safe to say that Spire has enough of their own earnings to attract the necessary capital to invest and borrow towards projects. Before they reach deeper into the wallets, that is a luxury that we, the residents of Missouri and customers of Spire, do not. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, the next name on the list is Alexandria Paul.
Hi, y'all. I'm Alexandria.
All right. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give here tonight shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. And would you state and spell your name?
This isn't my legal name. If you want to find my legal name, I don't want to talk about it in public, but you can email me at alexandria.paul1511@gmail.com. Okay?
All right.
Awesome.
So
My full name is Alexandria Paul.
Okay.
ALEXANDRIAPAUL. Again, if you want my legal name, you can email me. Cool. This is like really hard for me to show up here. I hate meetings. I hate this kind of stuff. Testifying is not something I like to do. I honestly don't think anybody in public likes to sit here and do this. And it's embarrassing that we have to do this often. The biggest thing that's really frustrating to me is that whenever politics and stuff happens in this state specifically, but especially in like most red states, they always try and claim to be pro-life and all this kind of stuff, but I have yet to see any kind of pro-life policy from any sort of governing body around Missouri ever. And the Public Commission right now, you have the opportunity to do a pro-life policy. Do not allow these rate hikes to happen. They don't need to happen, period. This is a recession. Nobody has money. Everybody got fired. Everybody got reduced hours. People losing their benefits. I got friends who not getting paid overtime. There's no public office to hold egregious civil rights violations, like people not getting paid or this kind of stuff. To even do that kind of stuff here, like there's so many offices that are overrun and understaffed, including the little payment people at Spire. And it's just disrespectful for y'all to just be like, ooh, just hit us up. We're the billing. Shush! We've hit you up before, and then you always say, oh, well, this is policy, and so our policy states that we blah, 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 blah. No, you don't care about us. And it's about time that a governing body in our area cares about us. And so you have the opportunity to do it. Please do so. Thank you.
The next name on the list appears to be Joy Mart. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And could you state and spell your name?
Yeah, my name is Joy Mart, Joymart. Alrighty. You guys sweating yet? I am Joy. I use they, them pronouns, and I organize with Sunrise Movement KC. I grew up in Missouri. I've lived all over the state, and I truly feel at home here. Currently, I live in the 2nd District of Kansas City. I'm here today to demand that this commission denies Spire's request for rate hikes. Surprise! Didn't see that one coming. The CEO of Spire gained, as we've said multiple times tonight, over $3 million in combined salary and bonuses last year. And I realize you guys got a new CEO, and he's going to make the same amount. I guarantee you, both of these men are out of touch. I guarantee you, they don't know what it's like to skip meals just so you can pay your utility bills. I know it all too well. Kansas Cityans budget paycheck to paycheck, and we are tired. We cannot afford a 15% rate hike, or a 10%, or a 5%. We can barely afford a 0% rate hike. Here's the deal, guys. We can't afford this. This is the 3rd rate increase proposed in 4 years. If Spire wants improvements to this 200-year-old company, the CEO can pay for it with his own damn money, not ours. What you call an investment, I call robbery. Let me ask my fellow Missourians. Can you guys afford this rate hike? If you can possibly make ends meet, do you deserve this rate hike? You guys heard that, right? We are not going to stand for this. This proposal is inhumane. It is selfish, insulting, unfair, and worst of all, pure greed. I'm sickened. Kansas City has shown up tonight to push you towards the moral, just decision. Spire has plenty of money from our pockets already. No more rate hikes. Do you have any questions?
It appears not. The next name on the list is Joseph Marchirio. All right, you've got your right hand raised. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Could you state and spell your name, please?
Joseph, Joseph, and it's Marchino, Marchino.
Go ahead.
First of all, I wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be here in person. I've always learned that being in person and put a face to our comments is better than just doing something online. Given that said, everything I'm getting ready to tell you now, I've already submitted to both the commission and to the OPC for their records as well, because I didn't really know if I was going to be here. I live in Liberty, and I have diligently and meticulously kept records of our own usage, cost, and total cost for the last 6 years, ever since 2019. And I can tell you that with a high degree of accuracy that from 2019 until the year 2024, my usage cost has decreased 34.8 And I should say not usage cost, just the usage itself as measured in 100 cubic feet. 34.8%. During that same 6-year period from 2019 to 2024, my cost, actual costs, have increased a total of 32.3%. It was in there. Clearly, there is a disconnect between what I as a consumer am doing to keep my part of the bargain and the usage costs down compared to what the total costs are that is out there. And I really can't attribute to that, where that kind of comes from, but during the Q&A portion earlier, I asked where this cost is going to be incurred, and I was advised by Mr. Scott, and I'm sorry I don't know your last, I can't remember your last name, but this is going to be most likely in our delivery and distribution costs. He also said in his opening remarks that the delivery and distribution costs have not increased in the last 3 years, and I would beg to differ that, because the actual, taking the data straight off my statements, that for the 12-month period that ended in February of 2023, a total percentage of my bill, which was distribution and delivery costs, was 36.65%. Forward that to 24 months, the bill that I just got in May 2025, for the 12-month period after that, it was 52.11%, a 15% increase in 2 years. And that is just the delivery and distribution costs alone, which means that more than half of my bill is the distribution and distribution and delivery costs. It costs more for the delivery than for the actual commodity itself. Just from my perspective, I'm doing my part. I think many of the people out here are doing their part to try to keep the costs down. Missouri Spire is not, they should be held accountable for what they're doing, or their costs that are out there, held accountable to do their part in providing their product to the consumer in the most efficient and cost-effective methods possible, rather than just pass on those costs to the consumers. I urge you, the Commission, to consider the data that I have presented both here tonight and online, that Spire Missouri's proposal should be rejected and is unfairly shifts the cost to the consumers. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Marchino? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The next name on the list is Bronisha Davis. Is Ms. Davis here? All right. Okay. All right. Then the next name is John Wells. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Can you state and spell your name, please?
John Wells, Johnwells, as in Sam. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I appreciate you putting down your phone, and I would appreciate that so the other people would as well. Thank you very much. We are coming off the heels. We are coming off the heels of Evergy's recent savings for customers that I don't know anyone that has saved any money from Evergy's savings. So this is kind of unusual in that respect, because I know this isn't in regards to Evergy, but it's the same thing. It's all about savings and also about a return on investment as well. Unfortunately, we're not seeing, as customers, we're not seeing that return on investment. Not only that, what we are seeing is that Spire is a regulated monopoly, and as such, you all are the ones that approve any increase or anything like that. Earlier, we heard that if there were no alternatives, that the costs would be less. This is simply not true. And the reason I can say that is not true, I lived through the 70s and the 80s, and for folks that knew there was AT&T. And look where we are now. Whenever there is not a monopoly, there is always competition. Competition will always drive prices down. It's a matter of economics. We have no options other than electricity. Evergy has made that impossible as well. Spire is making that impossible now with a proposed 15% increase. Hearing the story of someone that their monthly bill just a little bit ago was $400, and excuse me, my eyes are up here. I appreciate you looking at me. $400 makes mine look really small. Where did you think I was looking? You were looking over there, sir. I appreciate your eyes on me. This rate increase would be an additional $60 for them. It makes my small increase of $40 look extremely small. Like the person a few moments ago that is focused on efficiency, as is our family as well. Yet natural gas from Spire only increases, as the person just a few moments ago said. Both that person and I have made the investments in efficiency. Why hasn't Spire done that? When our belts tighten as customers, we tighten the things that we buy in those things. Why hasn't Spire done that? They seem to want to pass those costs on to the customer rather than tightening their belt. Hearing that one of the, I believe it was the ISRS expires, I probably have that acronym wrong, and I apologize for that, but that expires in 2029. This would continue to be rolled into that, making this an effective 17% rate. As
Mr.
opposed
Wells, I would ask you to wrap it up because you're
Yes.
past your 3
Like
minutes.
30 seconds. As opposed to the 15% equates to a tax that will not go away. When we vote a tax in, it doesn't go away. We're asking you to just simply say no to Spire. Thank you for your time.
Next on the list is Ariana Downard. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony given in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
My name's Ariana, A-R-I-A-N-N-A, Downard, D like David, O-W-N-A-R-D. I wanted to come in here and talk for a moment about what is it that makes up this company, right? What makes up this company is people. We are human beings. We are standing in front of you. We are asking you, please, please do not do this. Please do not raise our rates. Please do not make it so that people are going to die. I agree with, I forgot her name, who came up earlier and said, this is going to kill people, right? This is going to make it so that people will be unable to afford food, medicine, and even the place where they live. People will be evicted because they can't afford their gas and because so many apartments having their utilities on and running as part of the apartment agreement. And they will be kicked out on the streets with nowhere to go. Please do not do this. Please look at us and recognize that we are human beings too. And we desperately, desperately need this to not happen. We cannot afford for this to happen. And if you choose for this to happen, I hope you understand. I hope you can be okay with the fact that you will be killing people. Thank you.
Next on the list is Rick Irwin. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Could you state and spell your name, please?
My name is Rick Irwin, R-I-C-K. Last name Irwin, I-R-W-I-N. Okay, first of all, I'd like to read a little segment of the email that I got from Spire on this meeting. For the average resident customer, the proposed increase would be approximately 15% or $14 per month. Now, I'm not a math genius, but 15% of $100 is $15. I don't know how many people in this room, city, state, gas bill is only $100. Some may be in the summertime, but you talking about November, December, January, February, March, April, ain't nobody in this room got a $100 gas bill, which means my bill goes from $15 more a month to $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 a month more. I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income. Thank God I have a small 401k that I draw from, and my biggest saving grace is my house is paid for. If this wasn't true, I'd be like a lot of people. I wouldn't be able to afford this. I know companies are not in the business to break even or go broke, but asking for a 15% rate hike on people that are struggling, my meds went up, my Medicare went up, gas is up, food, everything is up. Is that y'all's fault? No, it's just a fact. But adding another 15% on top of what we already pay is crippling. It's mind-blowing that you could even ask for that amount of money, especially with the profits that this company makes. And I'm asking the commission to turn this thing down. It's ludicrous, and it's just going to hurt and devastate too many families across this great city and this state. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Kenneth Jones.
Kenneth Jones, Kenneth-Jones.
And could I swear you in, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank
Yes. What's the estimated cost per
you.
100 cubic
Mr.
feet?
Jones, could I ask you to speak
Yeah.
or bring the microphone
Yeah.
closer to you?
What's the estimated cost per 100 cubic feet to increase your revenues $236 million a year? Spire?
Sir, this is John Clauser, OPC. We can't actually answer questions during this period of the proceeding. I apologize, but none of us can answer questions for you.
Okay. Any rate increases, I think it'd be a lot more humane for everybody to make it a fixed dollar amount on the customer charge. If you're trying to recover all of it through the delivery and distribution and a cost per 100 cubic feet of use, that's going to get very expensive for a lot of folks. Based on the information contained in the email, it looks like the increase is going to be about 23.7 cents if they want to get $14 a month out of everybody. So if I take my total usage for the year and multiply that times the amount, I'm going to be looking at another $500, $600, $700 a year. If you take the $14 and you just add it to the customer charge, then I got a $168 increase for the year. So, adding any increases to the cost per 100 foot of usage is going to get very punitive for a lot of people. Okay, that's it.
All right. Thank you. Next on the list is David Levendahl. All right. And then the next name is Caleb Gardner. Would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Can you state and spell your name, please?
My name's Caleb, C-A-L-E-B, Gardner, G-A-R-D-N-E-R. I'm a Spire customer here in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm going to read from Spire's press release for 2025 quarter 2, where they state, quote, "We remain confident in our ability to grow long-term adjusted earnings per share 5 to 7%, driven by an expected long-term 7 to 8% annualized rate-based growth at Spire, Missouri." So based on that, Spire is going to ask for this every 2 years of another 15%. Over the next 10 years, that's a 90 to 100% rate increase. No one here can afford that. So they should only be at 2 or 3% to cover their actual investments, not pump up their share prices. Thank you.
All right, next on the list is Jill Byers. Would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony given this hearing tonight shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
My name's Jill Byers, Jillbyers. I just also want to remind everyone that you are appointed and not elected, correct?
Could you?
You're appointed, not elected to this board?
The commissioners are appointed, correct?
Yes. Okay. And by the current governor?
It varies, depending upon who the governor was at the time that they got appointed.
But over the last decade, it's been a Republican governor.
But I can't say this for certainty, and I
That's
don't want to get
correct.
into it, but yes, it depends upon who the governor is at the
So
time.
rate increases are, as we discussed during the question and answer session, supposed to benefit the customers. In the Q2 earnings, when we,
Ms. Byers, I'm sorry. Can you bring the microphone a little closer, or are you closer to the microphone?
yeah. In the Q2 earnings report, when we compare 2024 to 2025 for Spire, they had a $17.8 million increase in revenue and earnings just in the Q2 earnings. That's part of the coldest part of the year. When's it enough? 18 million one quarter, 20 the next. Okay, every once in a while we're not going to make money. But when's it enough to benefit the customers? In the 2024 SEC report, 66% of the revenue from Spire comes from residential customers. That's us. That's people like me and people here. I'm from Kearney, Missouri, so I'm a little more rural. I grew up even further out. If you're far enough out, you don't have zoning and you have the option for propane. None of those options are safe. As we've seen over the last few months in Missouri, the industry, propane and natural gas, is extremely unsafe. It kills people. We could have them here today, but they're not alive. The people in Lexington, that was your industry. It may not be your company, but it's your industry that killed that little boy. It's your industry that killed the people in Excelsior Springs when they incorrectly refilled their propane tank. And it's commissions and boards in Missouri that don't hold those accountable. No one today, when I called Jeff City, was able to tell me who refilled those people's propane tank in Excelsior Springs. That part of the report isn't done. That was last year. How many more people are we going to kill with this unsafe industry that we keep needing more and more money? And to clarify, it's 15.5% that you're requesting. And when I say people that look like me, it's people like me that are paying for it, but it's not people like me that are getting the money from it. From your 2024 Spire Sustainability Report, 80.91% of your employees, including your executive board, are male, and I'm not exactly sure what non-diverse means, but 70.01% of your workforce and your employees are not diverse. So that's not matching the people of Missouri. In Kansas City, St. Louis, it may be the rural areas, but the overall percentage of those folks that pay residential fees are non-diverse. So the people that are They are diverse, I'm sorry. Diversity and women and children are the ones that this is costing the most. You say, when I asked you questions earlier, you said your average worker makes around $100,000 a year. That, first of all, that's an average. That includes the ones that, thank goodness, were smart enough to join a union. And they were smart enough to negotiate their wages. $100,000 is way more than what our law enforcement starts out here in Kansas City. Now, we would, if we were ever able to control our own law enforcement in Kansas City as a city, that might change, but the state still has control
Ms.
over
Byers,
it.
I would ask you to wrap it up because you're past your time.
Thank you. So my point is, this 15.5% continues to harm those that all rate increases, taxes harm. Well, it continues to help people that look just like the people on our commission. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault what you look like. It's not your fault that you only have one executive that's a woman and no people of color. Oh wait, that is your fault.
All right, the next name on the list is Aiden, I'm going to say Alum.
Not here, but I am wondering, I know Bernicia was called up. Could she go now? She is here.
Is she? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Bernicia Davis, yes.
All right, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And could you go ahead and state and spell your name?
My name is Bernicia A. Davis, B-R-O-N-E-S-H-A. Greetings to all. As you know, my name is Bernicia A. Davis, an indigenous woman, also melanin, who unfortunately is homeless due to these ridiculous increases in everyday living. How is it that working 60 hours a week with a 592 credit score, I'm still sleeping in my car and being told I need a 600 credit score to be housed? You mean to tell me even the average worker of 40 hours a week is still at risk of eviction because of corporate greed? This 15% increase in Spire energy bills is targeting us citizens, and it's actively saying modern-day slavery is full in effect. So these bridges of Project 2025 need to stop, and it only stops when we, the people, continue to organize this way and say what is right and what is wrong, the same way our ancestors did. Thank you.
All right, the next name is Julia Caldwell. Okay. Ms. Caldwell, you've got your right hand raised. I appreciate that. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And could we lower your microphone down some? Thank you. And could you state and spell your name, please?
State and spell your name. My name is Julia Caldwell, and it's spelled Julia-Caldwell. And I'm just here I'm here just to say, I've been a gas customer since I was 21 years old. That makes it 62 years. I have paid my share high utility bill. And I'm here today to state that the Spire is asking for 15% more, and that's 15% more I cannot pay. I have, in the last 20 years, I have had my house insulated. I had new windows put in. I had new doors put on. I made sure the basement didn't have no broken seals where air will come in, or mice will come in, or whatever. But I just think that our Public Commission on Utilities have did the people of Kansas City unjust by not standing up for the average paid hourly wage person. And I think I'm a retired person, and thank God that my husband worked for Ford, so I can afford what I'm paying now for utility. But if you all let them put that 15% increase on our utilities, it's gonna be a lot of old people, like this 83-year-old woman, won't be able to pay her bill in her home. And so I will be in a frozen house, I suppose. Thank you.
Thank you. You're next.
Uh-huh.
All right. And so you are Belinda Shelby?
I'm Belinda Caldwell Shelby.
All right.
Do I need to spell the whole thing?
Well, I do need you to spell it for the sake of our court reporter.
Okay, it's BelindaCaldwellShelby.
Okay. And I do need to swear you in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right.
You've heard so many good testimonies and reasons why we should not increase it, but my mom is disabled. She wears double hearing aids, and I'm visually impaired, and so we're the odd couple. But we live in...
And just, again, for the sake of the record and for the people who may not have heard you off microphone, the previous speaker was your mother, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so we live in 64128. Many people that live in the city of Kansas City, Missouri know that that area is considered the lower life expectancy zip code, one of them, and it's for a lot of reasons. You know, there's health reasons, but also we live in 64128 because it's affordable for us. We live in 100-year-old houses, and my mom has done a lot of things to curb the cost of using gas service, and I live right next to her, and her gas bills were like $400 to $500 this year, and my gas bills was close to $700 a month. And a lot of the programs, I'm sitting next to some very beautiful Spire people too, but a lot of the programs that Spire has is really not for the working people, because we make too much to get something, and then your credit score has to be at a certain level to get all these energy efficient supplements that you do. And so we do things like supplementing our heat bill by closing off areas of the houses that we don't use, like rooms, and we also use electric heaters, and the bills are still high. So, you know, just from one working person to another who would love to have a 15% increase, I just don't think that this is a good deal for us to increase our utility gas service at all. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Ms. Shelby. All right, next name is Alec Bailey. I'm sorry, before, Ms. Bailey, if you
Ms.
will.
Bailey, I just had a quick question for you. Did you, by chance, can you hear me? Ms. Caldwell?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to stop by our desk out front? You just mentioned that, I mean, I would recommend just stopping by our desk out front. You said that there was assistant programs. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right, and for the sake of the record, that was Mr. Arias asking the question. And so, Ms. Bailey? I'm sorry, not Ms. Bailey. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And could you state and spell your name?
Alec Bailey, AlecBailey.
All right, go ahead.
I have come here forward to you today because I am youth in Kansas City. I live in Raytown. And I'd like to say that you should not raise the rent hikes, because In winter, I should not have to decide to either starve or freeze. I shouldn't have to do that. I should worry about if I can go outside and play in the snow or see my friends. You know, and my grandmother has to lower her AC to 55 at night just to save money. That's not right. Yeah. It's just wrong as well, you know, and you're just stealing money from people. You're stealing money from working class citizens, like my parents. My mom was months without a job, so we were down on money. We had a hard time getting food to pay heat. It's just wrong. That's all I have to say.
Right. All right. Thank you. All right. Next on the list is Deborah. And would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right.
Okay.
Could you state and spell your name, please?
My name is Deborah, D-E-B-O-R-A-H, last name Top, T-O-P-P. And I'm here today just to say that we're struggling. I'm retired. I work 2 part-time jobs, and just, you know, it's going to be a hardship for a lot of people to pay an extra 15%. I'd also like to speak on behalf of my brother, who is disabled. He lives in an apartment building that I think there are 40 apartments. Everyone in that building pays, I think, $24 a month to get gas into their apartment. They only use it for heat. So in the summertime, when nothing is running but maybe the pilot light for his furnace, he's still paying $32 to $36 a month for gas, and he's not using, the actual gas usage is probably 8 to 10 cents, but he's still paying that large amount. So I'm just asking that you would please reject this increase. People at this time just cannot afford it. Thank you.
And the next name is Kenneth Top. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And I might ask you to raise the microphone up a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you. And could you state and spell your name?
My name is Kenneth, K-E-N-N-E-T-H, Top, T-O-P-P.
Go ahead.
Okay. I came here this evening because I felt the need to speak for myself. I think in many instances, people today are not speaking out for various reasons, and I felt compelled to come and speak out about this increase. As my wife was saying, you know, we're both retired. We've worked hard all our lives. We are essentially fighting skirmishes with Evergy, Spire, Jackson County. I could name a bunch of people, but we've worked hard, and it seems like people are conspiring to take things away from us. I really didn't want to come up and have a long conversation about how I felt. I feel that there's no way that you should approve this rate increase. No way, you know, at all. And the fact of the matter is that I came to speak for myself because I didn't want this. And as far as you commissioners are concerned, I hope somebody will come and speak for you when your time comes. I'm good.
All right. Thank you. Next on the list is Ashley Al-Shawish. And I do apologize. I tried on your.
That was perfect. That was actually the
okay.
authentic way. My
All right.
family and I pronounce it Ashley Al-Shawish.
Al-Shawish.
ASHLEY,
All right. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole
Yeah.
truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
My name is Ashley Al-Shawish. I'm a legislative aide in Jackson County. My role involves direct casework with constituents and helping those taxpayers through various county processes and applying for various programs. I've seen firsthand in my role the result that the recent tax debacle in both 2019 and 2023 had brought to citizens in our county. And I bring this topic up in this hearing today because as citizens are quite literally being taxed out of their homes, they are turning around and simultaneously seeing monthly bills that are getting more and more unaffordable. We've seen our electric and gas prices continue to increase. Taxpayers are being asked to rebudget their household incomes over and over as corporations, utility companies, and local governments ask them to fund never-ending infrastructure projects and capital improvements. In addition to homeowners leaving the metropolitan because there is no longer a sustainable cost of living, low-income families and renters and tenants are also greatly affected. The ratio of income that families use to sustain rent and utility costs do not allow for reasonable budgeting to afford groceries and healthcare needs. I often hear companies like Spire calculating that these increases will only be $10 a month, maybe $20 a month per customer. What they aren't really realizing to acknowledge is that in today's economy, the average of $15 is the exact cost of either monthly medication, an appointment deductible, or grocery expenses. $13 or $14 per month does indeed hurt the average Missouri household. According to the New York Stock Exchange, Spire's profit margin went from 7.6% in 2023 to 9.1% in 2024. This year's figures, now in 2025, are already at over 19%. All of these numbers are not near the low figure that was reported earlier by a Spire representative. Annual wage growth in America is just over 3% at best. Spire has proudly reported to multiple agencies that they have initiated effective efforts to improve operational efficiency and the cost of doing business. It is disappointing to them, to me, as a customer, for them to turn around and ask for a rate increase to hardworking Americans. As a current customer, I would ask the company to responsibly budget for their own infrastructure improvements rather than turning to their customer base, as those very customers are being asked to fund never-ending projects around this metropolitan for other millionaires, for other billionaires. Lastly, I would like to note there are several tax breaks that Spire currently enjoys for the very purpose of investing in infrastructure improvements. These include both the system replacement surcharge as well as the federal tax reform saving plan. And in 2018, Spire actually made a really moral decision to pass those savings along to customers. So tonight, I would like to ask the Public Service Commission to step in and continue passing those savings along. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is Raymond Forstater. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Could you state and spell your name, please?
Raymond Forstater, RAYMOND FORSTATER. I'm honestly tired of giving these types of speeches. Usually I prepare, but I've been in this position before, so I figured I could just do it off the dome. So what I genuinely want to know is, what will it take to reject this? We have heard time and time again about how we're limited on time and how we have so many people signed up to testify. We are using every minute that we have to tell y'all that we cannot afford this and that you need to reject this for the sake of people across the state of Missouri. And if we can use every bit of time that we have, every second that we are given to tell you that this cannot pass, and you still pass it through, then I don't understand what it is that we actually can do to use our voices and show you that this isn't right and this won't work for us. So I would love to get an answer from y'all if possible about what it would actually take to reject this, because I know, again, this is the third time that this would be happening in 4 years. I was here in the other room in this community center a little over 2 years ago giving a testimony on the same issue. And once again, the community showed out and the room was full and we used up all the time to testify and the rate hike still passed. So I would love to know, do we need to be rioting in the streets? Do we need to all be stopping paying our bills so it actually impacts their profits and their margins? Because if we can all show up and testify and use every second that we have and send emails and show up to virtual hearings and say that this won't pass, you know, I don't hear anybody showing up and saying that it's okay if it passes through. Every single person here is calling on you to reject this for the sake of the people of our communities. And if that isn't enough, then I truly don't understand what would be. I work in food access, and the reality is that with a fixed cost, or like our gas bills, you don't pay that, you get your gas shut off. You don't pay your rent, you get evicted. You don't pay your car bill, it gets repoed. The option that people are left with is to, you know, freeze like we've heard about, or don't get groceries, don't feed their families, don't put food on the table for the people that need it. So the impacts of raising these rates is not just gonna be that people are having to deal with the cold, people are having to shelter up and deal with not raising their temperatures in their homes because they simply can't afford it. It's gonna mean that people are starving. It's gonna mean that people aren't getting the medication that they need. These impacts are gonna be wide-ranging across our entire communities in many ways beyond just gas access in our homes. So again, I would love to know, what is it actually gonna take to reject this outright? No smaller increase, no partial rate hike, but an outright rejection, because again, this is the third time in 4 years, and when is this gonna end? And what will it take to actually stop it if clearly we can't afford it and clearly it's not working for the people that actually pay into the pockets of these executives that work for these companies? Thank you.
All right, the next name on the list is Lisa Baronio. All right, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this hearing tonight shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, and my name is spelled Lisa, L-I-S-A. Last name is Baronio, B-A-R-O-N-I-O. I am a Spire customer living in Lee Summit, Missouri. I'm 64 years old, and my husband is 70 years old. We continue to work because of the fear of what future costs would be as we move to a fixed income in retirement. This is a frightening reality that many Spire customers face every single day. We have added insulation, done what we could to reduce costs for our future fixed income status. The rate increase proposed is exorbitant. It's exorbitantly high at 15%. However, if you wish to include the infrastructure system replacement surcharge that is slated to sunset in 2029, that increase actually surpasses 17%. The CEO of Spire's base salary last year was over $2.2 million. However, with the performance-based incentive plan, the CEO's salary was over $3 million, and with stock awards, her salary was over $5 million. If Spire is more profitable, as it would be with this rate increase, the CEO's bonus would increase between an additional compensation of a bonus between 75% and 115% on their compensation of $2.2 million salary plus their stock awards. The C-suite employees of Spire and stakeholders stand to gain profits due to their stockholder incentives as the price of stock increases and their personal profits will go up. The proposal indicates the increase will affect infrastructure investments and create conservation impacts. Spire has already indicated that they have made such investments previously. If this is the case, there are savings that they have already reaped. As for a for-profit company, they had a profit of $251 million last year alone, and they are already making investments of this nature to increase their profits. This increase is very high and should be reconsidered and not imposed. For the sake of the public, for those relying upon Spire to heat their homes, to run their dryers, to cook their food, we should not need to choose between putting food on the table and heating our homes. People will suffer needlessly for the sake of a for-profit company to increase their profits. Thank you.
All right, and Ms. Baronio, when you began your testimony, did you say you reside in Lee Summit?
Lee Summit.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right, the next name on the list is Tessa Lieber. All right, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, and could you state and spell your name, please?
Yes, I am Tessa Lieber, spelled Tessa, last name Lieb as in boy, ER. I would just like to start this evening to say and acknowledge how privileged I am. I'm privileged to have white skin in an insanely racist country. I am privileged to have been able to drive myself to the library this evening to print out the fiscal report of 2024 of Spire, of the Spire company. I'm privileged to have been able to eat a large lunch before today, knowing that I would have to skip dinner to spend all of my time here. Despite that privilege, this rate increase will impact me. That's not to even speak of the other many people who are on fixed incomes, who are so severely impacted by a rate increase. What I would like to mention is in this fiscal report that I printed off at my library, it shows a reduction in the volume of utilities sold year over year, a 0.7% reduction. Yet, there is a 12% increase in operating income. How does that happen? And I would also just like to say, because of the decrease in volume consumed, there's actually something in here that says it's because of global warming. Temperatures, this is a direct quote, temperatures in Spire, Missouri's service areas during fiscal 2024 were 10% warmer than during fiscal 2023 and 19.1% warmer than normal. Now, I'm not sure what sort of lobbying or other interests are involved with this case. And frankly, it doesn't matter, but I would urge you to not align yourselves with this type of company because frankly, it's operating at their own detriment. This is a natural gas product. It is affecting our climate, and not only that, it's affecting their business. Even their own employees, which they referred earlier as saying they typically give a 3% increase, even that increase will not cover the additional 15% rate increase. You claim that this is a community investment. You claim that this is something that helps the people when really you're maintaining your property. You're maintaining your property. As I am expected as a homeowner, I'm expected to maintain my property. I do not get paid from other people to do so, other than my job. You claim that this is for safety, but the reality is that this is really just creating a far more dangerous situation for so many people. Thank you.
All right, next on the list is Sheila Barnett. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Could you state and spell your name, please?
Sheila Barnett, Sheila Barnett. As everybody has said this evening, nobody can afford a rate increase. I stood here about 3 years ago and talked about that then, and was told that the gas would be delivered more efficiently and we would have better infrastructure. I haven't seen any of that. I don't see how you're delivering the gas more efficiently, and I haven't seen any infrastructure repair. And yet here you are asking us to give you more money. And as everybody says, we're not getting any more money. Where are we supposed to come up with it? And the other thing is that the citizens of Missouri voted to increase minimum wage. And what is our legislature doing? They're doing everything they can to keep minimum wage from being increased. So if the Missouri legislature is doing everything to keep minimum wage from being increased, then the commission, the new commissioners, should do what you can to keep our rates from being increased. If our minimum wage people can't get what we voted in, then how can we stop you guys from raising something that we can't pay? As everybody has said, we're all making choices between food, between medicine, between heat, water. I have a family member who got in such trouble with Spire that they have a $3,000 bill that they have not been able to pay. Now, she has since installed a wood-burning stove in her house because that's all she can do to be able to stay warm during the wintertime. That's not all her fault, but she's gotten all of the help that she can get. And when her house burns down, I'm going to blame Spire for not doing anything to help her keep her gas on and for her to have to go to a wood-burning stove. And if my husband or my neighbors or my other fellow Missourians have to make a choice between food and being warm, well, maybe we all ought to start community living then. And that way we can have enough people in our house to be able to pay the utilities, to be able to feed each other, and maybe we can start trading prescriptions so that we can all have our cholesterol medicine and our high blood pressure medicine at the same time. Because I'm sure we're all on high cholesterol medicine, and I'm sure everybody's blood pressure is high over this whole situation.
Ms. Humphrey, you are past your 3 minutes.
Thank you. I would genuinely implore you to not do this to the Missouri people. We cannot afford it in any way, shape, or form, especially when our legislature will not put through the minimum wage increase.
All right. And the next list is Robin Humphrey. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. Could you state and spell your name, please?
Robin, R-O-B-I-N, Humphrey, H-U-M-P-H-R-E-Y.
Go ahead.
I'm a resident of the 3rd District, and I proudly serve as the president of the Washington-Wheatley Neighborhood Association.
All right. Could I ask you to repeat that again just for the sake of the court reporter?
I'm a resident of the 3rd District, and I proudly serve as the president of the Washington-Wheatley Neighborhood Association.
Okay.
On behalf of our residents, I am here today to respectfully urge the Missouri Public Service Commission to reject Spire's proposed rate increase. This increase places an undue financial burden on Missouri families, many of whom are already facing rising costs for essentials like food, housing, and healthcare. A double-digit rate hike for basic necessity items like home heating and cooking fuel is especially harmful for low-income and fixed-income households who will be disproportionately affected. While we understand the need for infrastructure improvements and inflationary adjustments, utility companies must balance those with needs with affordability and fairness. It's not fair to keep raising rates when people are struggling to make ends meet. On a personal note, I've worked for a Fortune 500 company for 19 years. And over the years, I've witnessed my company make hard decisions. Just this year, they've required employees to take unpaid time off. And they've done this to avoid layoffs and to protect jobs. It's a sacrifice, and I respect it because they put people first. I'm asking you to do the same, but I'm also asking you to seek better alternatives. Please protect Missouri families and deny this rate increase. We need affordable energy, not bigger bills. I urge the Commission to prioritize the interests of everyday Missourians and hold Spire accountable for transparent and responsible rate-setting practices. Please deny this rate increase. Thank you.
All right, next on the list is Amy Pepper. All right, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Can you hear me okay?
And could you state and spell your name, please?
Yes, my name is Amy Pepper, Amypepper. I'm a Spire customer, but not by choice. Spire has made multiple acquisitions across the natural gas pipeline sector, eliminating all potential utilities competitors in what's supposed to be a free market system. You say that this proposed increase is to recover infrastructure investments, but you're not willing to do so by capping or limiting profits, executive bonuses, or stock dividends. And Spire's profitability continues to increase exponentially year over year. Spire is a public utility service. The key word there is public. You are supposed to serve the people who depend on your services, not the executives and shareholders out to stuff their pockets, buy their third or fourth vacation boat, and hoard money in offshore accounts. Why don't you tell your bosses, if they don't think they should serve the public, then get out of the service of public utilities and stop buying out your competitors so that we have another choice for a utility services provider. I don't know how much you Spire puppets get paid, but I can imagine it must be significant enough for you to walk into this room in your fancy suits and recite a bunch of corporate BS to try to convince us that Spire's success is our success. I don't know you, but I highly doubt any of you have ever known what it's like to struggle to keep the lights or the heat on. You stood here today and announced that if people are struggling to pay bills, there are resources. So you already acknowledge that people can't afford utilities, and now you want more. We don't need your resources for assistance with high gas prices. We need affordable gas prices. We're not as stupid as you think we are. We see through your deception and your lies. We don't believe a word of your empty promises and recited corporate rhetoric. I humbly beg this commission, do not allow this rate increase to pass. You are here to represent the interests of the public, and the public is speaking. Listen.
All right, next on the list is Katie Gregory. All right, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And could you state and spell your name, please?
Yeah. Katie Gregory, Katie Gregory. Good evening. I'm Katie Gregory, a master's level social worker and resident of Grandview, Missouri. I urge the Commission to reject the increase and to speak to the societal implications of this rate increase. Many Missourians are struggling to make ends meet. Those who do not pay are at risk of having their gas shut off. As Spire did not directly answer a gentleman's question regarding Spire's policy regarding shutting off gas in households with minors. And not having utilities can put tenants at risk for eviction, given it's part of their lease agreement, which for many can lead to homelessness. But this is only part of the problem. A study from Tang et al. Shows the correlation between foster care entries and eviction rates. They found that an 8.1% increase in association between eviction and foster care entry in some demographics. Missouri will need to be prepared to increase its foster care entries due to Spire's increase in increased rates. Being without heat in the winter is a concern of its own for child welfare and well-being. Missouri does have LIHEAP, Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, customers once a year, which often does not adequately support those in need. This concern is something. This is something for Missouri to consider, as there will be an increased gap in funding due to the proposed increase. Thank you.
All right, the next name on the list is Deanna Kirkland.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My
Hi.
name is Deanna Kirkland.
Okay.
Oh, are you
Go ahead
ready?
and spell it since you.
Okay. D-E-N-N-A Kirkland. Deanna Kirkland. That's me.
And then I'll swear
Okay.
you in here. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely, I do.
Go
Ready?
ahead.
Okay. So I'm here. I'm a truck driver. I'm from Kansas City. I want to speak on behalf of my cousin, who is a nurse at the VA. Her father is a veteran. He is a shut-in. I've heard lots of people speak, right, about all the various people that will be affected by this rating hike. But one thing I didn't hear are people speaking about the shut-ins who couldn't show up tonight. He is on a feeding tube. He has specialized food that costs like $300 a day for him to have. He's on his medications and just a whole lot of other things. She is extremely stressed out. She's been taking care of him by herself for the last 3 years. He's been in and out the hospital and between there and rehab. So 1 month, he literally was not home for the whole month, and he still had a $200 gas bill. His care for in-home care is $30,000 a month. He cannot afford a rate increase. And he is not a unicorn. There are literally thousands of people that are here in Missouri that are going through something similar, maybe not that situation, but to where there is no help, there is no extra money. And so one of the things that I was taught as a child is no doesn't mean indefinitely. Sometimes no just means not right now. So what I'm asking you, I get it. Spire is a for-profit company. Shareholders, dividends, right? I get that. I understand maintenance and everything that you guys need to make money to make a profit, right? Because you're a business or you're representatives of a business. I'm asking the commission to just tell Spire no, as in not right now. Consider the shut-ins. Consider the single parents who are working with children, right? Consider the people who are really stressed out trying to figure out what is the priority. Is it heat? Is it food? Is it housing? Is it living in a car and trying to figure out how to stay warm? Every year people pass away. I mean, it's just a fact. It's just a reality. That's one of those situations. They don't have to consider that. But you, as the Public Service Commission, I'm asking you to consider that. Those shut-ins, those veterans, the people who did everything that they were supposed to do to be okay in their elderly years or when they're sick. Just tell Spire, not right now. Come back in 2 years. Thank you.
Next on the list is Rob Stitt. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Could you go ahead and state and spell your name?
R-O-B-S-T-I-T-T. And so just what I want to comment was, my high bill in 2022 was about 50% higher than it was in 2021, and about the same in 2023. It went up another 20%, in 2024. A little bit lower so far this year, but, the year's not over. Quoting from the Spire's press release on their 2024 results, it says gas utility fiscal 2024 adjusted earnings were $220.8 million, an increase at $200.5 million the prior year. The year-over-year improvement reflected higher earnings across all utilities. And it goes on and on about how profits are going up and everything else. Given all of that stuff, the rates have been, the prices have gone up already, and their profits are going up. I respectfully request the Public Service Commission to consider that in how much they allow on this rate increase and to consider trimming it down significantly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is McKenna Nickens. Jury's right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that testimony given this hearing tonight shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And could you state and spell your name, please?
McKenna Nickens, MakennaNickens.
Go ahead.
As a Kansas City resident and as a customer who would be impacted financially by this proposed increase, I agree with the sentiments that have been shared by everybody in the room tonight about the financial burden and the impacts on everybody's life that these rate increases do have, and the deepened disparity for the urban communities that these rate increases would have. As a consumer and as a community member, I agree with the opposition for these reasons. I'm also a community outreach specialist for Missouri Coalition for the Environment. We are a statewide environmental organization that focuses on clean air, water, and environmental health for Missouri's people. Your operation is 100% fossil fueled. Methane traps 82.5% more heat in the atmosphere than even carbon dioxide does. Urban communities are already disproportionately impacted by heat. So with this rate increase, Spire is contributing significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, which creates extreme temperatures and pollution and global heating, which we have to pay for with our health already. And then we have to pay you to heat and cool ourselves down. And then now you're asking us to pay for this increase to, I believe the term was, recover your investments and to continue this process, when we should be moving to renewables at this point anyways. I urge you, the PSC, to oppose this increase for the reasons that have been shared tonight and for Missourians' health and our environmental safety.
Thank you. Next on the list is Karen Paisley. Karen Paisley. All right. And then the next name is Jim Van Scoy, I believe. Would you raise your right hand, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And could you go ahead and state and spell your name?
My name is Jim, J-I-M, Van Scoy, V as in Victor, A-N-S-C-O-Y. I am here to voice my thoughts anyway. You've heard plenty of other testimonies in, or negativity, if you want to call it that. My question is, or my statement is more on clarity of this letter that everyone has received. It talks about going into effect October of 2025, which is this fall. In the paragraph just before that, it talks about next fall. So are we saying of 2025 or 2026? That's all I've got. Thanks.
All right, the next on the list is Avian Brunkhorst. Would you raise your right hand, please?
Hello.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony given this hearing tonight shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Aye, aye. Yes, I do.
Okay. And could you state and spell your name, please?
Avian Brunkhorst, A-V-I-A-N, last name B as in boy, R-U-N-K-H-O-R-S-T. Hello. I believe I'm like 47th to speak tonight, if I'm getting my numbers right. I normally don't give public testimony, but this is a very clear, very greedy, rich from a self-proclaimed, as y'all said earlier during the Q&A, monopoly. Every single person that has given testimony before me deserves far better than 15 or even 1% increase in Spire. Everyone has said from ages, I believe, 75 to 13 that they cannot afford this. It is unreasonable to ask people to pay more. That is all I have to say.
Thank you. And we are down to about 5 minutes left, and we've got about 4 people still on the list, and I cannot really make out this next name, but last name begins with a V. All right. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
And what is your name, please?
It's Nam. First name, N-A-M. Last name is Vu. V is in Victor, U is in umbrella. Spire's proposed rate increase is an act of violence. And in this world where the rich get richer and the poor get prison, I'm both surprised and not at how villainously and calloused you all decided to show up. Antonio, dear, you're young and talented. You can still make a choice that is good. Have you considered social work? Spire's proposed rate increase is an act of violence. And I am so deeply moved by testimonies that are shared tonight. And I'm so moved by how each has its own unique edge. Some more fact-based, some more narrative-based, drawing on personal truths that are held bone deep. But every single one filled to the brim with gumption, conviction, humanity, and empathy. And then I find myself thinking, truly, how can you sit here and not be immediately clear on what the moral choice is, what the just choice is? Parentheses, no rate increase, LOL, end parentheses. But then I realized very quickly that all of this is only intelligible, only moving, only effective to somebody who has a conscience. Shame, shame on you, shame on you. Spire's proposed rate increase is unconscionable. It's an act of violence. Antonio, come on, dear.
All right. Next is Rwanda McFerrin. Rwanda McFerrin. Would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony given this hearing tonight shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Could you state and spell your name, please?
Yes, Rwanda McFerrin, RUANDA-MC-FERREN.
Go ahead.
All right. Good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight. I really do appreciate the opportunity to speak. I'm a Spire customer in Kansas City's zip code 64110. I'm a renter, I'm a volunteer with the local Sierra Club, and I'm a public servant. In my work, I see how many of our low-income neighbors struggle to pay their rent and utility bills month after month, year after year. Public assistance programs do not go far enough to close this gap. Spire's own assistance programs do not close this gap. I myself, with a middle-class job and a master's degree, essentially live paycheck to paycheck. Science tells us that natural gas contributes to global warming. We are in the midst of a climate collapse, and for a more sustainable future, we should not continue to invest in this system. This rate increase would hurt all of us, but especially our most vulnerable friends and neighbors. Please do not approve this increase. Thank you.
Next on the list is William Davies. All right, would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Could you state and spell your name, please?
Yes, my name is William Davies, William as in Victor, IES. And I'm a resident of Kansas City, Missouri, in zip code 64131, and I'm a Spire, Missouri gas customer. I'm a lawyer by education. I went to law school because I believe in public interest work. I believe in the role of government, and particularly administrative agencies, as being a space where the public can interface directly with those who make decisions that impact their lives. I believe in these processes. I affirm all the testimony that has been shared. I am ultimately asking you to please, Commissioners, Your Honor, Madam Chair, she's listening, to reject this proposed rate increase in its entirety, as it use your discretion to do so, as it is not a prudent investment of customer and ratepayer dollars. The people behind me also want to believe in the work that you do and believe that this system can work. However, it only works, this monopoly system, Public Service Commission, heavily regulated utilities, only works if the regulators say no. It's been raised in several public meetings. It's been asked if there's ever been a time where a utility didn't get something when they proposed a rate. No one could name a time. And now here comes Spire again, already making the investments, and just it gives the impression that they can just expect to get something. And this erodes confidence in these public processes. We're in Kansas City. We're in a space where folks are trying to reduce the amount of gas that they use. This incentivizes Spire, seeking profits, to try to charge the folks who aren't conserving or the folks who are still using gas, charge them more. And this further harms people as you commits violence for folks who are struggling to afford basic necessities, and erodes the ability of the state to do this important work. You can help restore that confidence by exercising your discretion to simply say, no, not right now. They don't need to get an increase every time. Spire has not said that they're not going to profit this year. They had ample profits last year, and there's no indication that they're not going to still make money. As folks have said, just because you can buy a roof 10 years after you install it instead of letting it go its whole life doesn't mean that you should. Doesn't mean that that's a prudent investment. It's on you all to hold Spire accountable and show that you're not going to be a rubber stamp. And it's important that you do, especially during this time. We had tornadoes in Kansas City just the other day, devastating tornadoes in St. Louis today and last week. The people are bearing enough, and you all can use your lawfully entitled power to hold Spire accountable and say not right now. Please, for the good of the Public Service Commission, exercise your duty to support customers and deny this rate increase. Thank you.
And the last person that signed up to testify is Condra May. And I apologize if I mispronounced that.
No, it's okay. It's Candra May.
Candra. Okay.
Candra, last name May.
Okay. And would you raise your right hand to be sworn in, though?
Sure.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
So hi, my name is Candra. I am a mother of two and a recent constituent that has moved to Kansas City. My family is 4 generations from the San Francisco Bay Area. Something that really happened when you talk about profit and corporate greed is my family experienced, time and time again, kind of being forced out, gentrification and things that have caused price increases. And when I recently moved to Kansas City, something I've been so privileged to be able to do is because of cost of living being so much less. I have 2 young children. I am able to stay home with those children most of the day and only work part-time. I'm, like I said, very privileged. I want to think about the moms who, unlike me, are not able to have a second person in the home or bring young kids to a place like this. And really thank the Sunshine Movement, I noticed, who brought out a huge amount of people to come out and speak. Because so many people are so busy paying bills and things like this, they probably don't even know this is occurring. They don't even know. They will just get their bill in the mail, if they even have the chance to read these kind of increases and understand and just feel subject because of the monopoly of the nature, they have to do what they have to do. I think it's kind of just at you guys as the commission, I would love to see that you guys are considering things with these uncertain times from the federal government, decreasing things like SNAP or Medicaid or Social Security benefits. And somebody had mentioned our governor fighting tooth and nail to overturn parts of Proposition A, so people right now will not have the ability to stay home when they're sick and receive pay. So when you stay home, you lose that time of income, but we are still expected to pay increases for things that we need, like a public service. I myself am pretty left-leaning. I would love to see Missouri as a whole do things that are just completely transitioning away from fossil fuels. But while that might be too big of an ask, I would love to see just our state commission potentially lead the way in, I'm a Kansas City, but not like maybe all across Missouri, to lead the way in choosing people over profits, and to possibly just encourage you guys to have maybe more creative ideas, that to not only just say no to this now, but to get more creative in thinking of how we can better serve the public as a whole. Thank you.
My thanks to everyone who testified tonight. If any of you would like to enter additional comments on the Public Service Commission's website, the Commission's website is psc.mo.gov, and there is a link on that homepage that says Submit Comments. You can click that link and enter your comments, and I would just ask that you reference this case number, GR-2025-0107. Commissioner Mitchell, I'm sorry. Well, yes, I do know that there are people that read those comments. All right. Commissioner Mitchell, do you have any closing remarks?
I do. I know it's getting late, and it's been a long discussion, a good discussion and a healthy discussion, and I want you to know that we appreciate it and take your comments seriously. I'd also like to especially thank the Caldwells for being here, and thank you for taking such good care of your mother. That's all I have to say.
All right. Then with that, I will adjourn the hearing and we'll go off the record.